How was the week?
I think it was good. Like, he recalled more than I thought that he would, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I know that was definitely something we struggled with when we tried to teach him, like, back when he was like a puppy.
Oh yeah.
But even like if he was playing with other dogs, like he would come back. He didn't always necessarily like sit though. He would like kind of come to me and then just kind of like stand there.
Yeah. Are you talking about before we practice, or this is when you're practicing?
This is when I'm practicing.
Okay.
Yeah. So then like he wouldn't like really sit. He would just kind of stand there like in front of me.
Yeah.
I guess like in those cases, do we want them to sit or like just standing is fine?
Yeah.
Too?
So we want them to sit because it adds more structure and discipline to it.
Okay.
So that usually when trainers teach recall, it's like they come and they come and then that's it. Like they pet them and then they kind of just go and they don't say anything, you know?
Yeah.
So when we do the recall and they sit, and then we'll show we'll go over how that goes with part 2 of recall.
Okay.
That it's more like they're in stationary position and they're stuck with you until you give the break command. Then they can move.
Okay.
But it's just to add more structure to the recall, just so you don't get that come and go type behavior.
Okay.
Anything else?
I feel like he does break the heel, because I don't.
Breaks from the heel, or breaks the heel like he's like going forward, or is he?
He's like going sideways because he wants to sniff.
I see.
And I feel like I always like say heel again, and I know we're not supposed to, right? Like
yeah,
we're not
correct.
supposed to say heel. So then in those cases, do I just like tap and then until he gets back, or?
So if he's on your left and he's doing it, right? Probably.
Yeah.
So when he's doing that, I would just start, as soon as I see him kind of wander off, I just start tapping.
Okay.
So it's be tap, and then hopefully, if he's not going closer, I'll do a few exercises where I go like, so if I'm in heel, and like he keeps wandering over,
Yeah.
I'll tap and then take a step. So I'll give it, if he's here, good.
Yeah.
But then out of nowhere, I'll do this, and he's still here, I'll tap until he comes here, and I'll like mess around with him. So like, even if he's in heel, I'll do that. He's gonna still probably be over there, and I'll give a tap so he can come here.
Okay.
And if you're in heel and he's smelling here, so let's say I'm walking and he decides to smell, I just continue tapping and keep moving and then see how that goes.
Okay.
If he's still like over here, I'd probably just like start tapping, give a little leash tug to guide him to you.
Okay.
But yeah, correct. We don't stay heel again. We just go ahead and just tap. And then if you see that he's still smelling the ground, even if like the one correction he responds, but then the next time you go for a walk he's doing it again, just bump up your number, because then we know that number is not enough for him to kind of be focused on you, you know?
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Cool.
And then sometimes like after he like sniffs, like after I tell him he can like break and he goes potty and stuff, he kind of like automatically comes back to my side.
Yeah.
In those cases, do I have to like say heel again, or is it more like he's just there?
So you say break, and then he kind of goes to your side again. And
yeah,
then,
like after he's done sniffing and going to the bathroom, he like comes
oh, he
back.
just goes into automatically heel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, do I need to say heel again?
I would, yes, because
Okay.
the last thing he's heard is break. So even if like he's walking with you, I'd still just say heel.
Okay.
But yes, I'd still stay heel.
Okay.
Were you trying to also get him away from you, or was that not a problem, or?
No, I wasn't trying to get him away from
Okay.
me or anything, but I just wasn't sure if
Yeah, I
I
get what
should
you're
say
saying.
heel again, so then he like knows that's what we're doing, or.
For sure.
Okay.
It's the same thing as like when we go over the place command. If I say place, he's to go there. If I don't say place and he goes there, that means he's allowed off. So similar to here, if he's walking because he chose to and you didn't say heel, if he were to wander off, it'd be incorrect to tap him because he was in break. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I'd clarify that with him. Just say it again, or not say it again. Just say it,
Yeah.
and then correct if needed. But I hope that makes sense. That example, whatever.
Yeah. So then I just say it like while we're walking.
Yes.
Like it doesn't. I don't have to like stop or anything.
No, just say heel. What else? Anything else?
I think knows it.
How's the reactivity?
It's actually gotten a lot better. There have been times where like dogs actually barked at him and
Yeah.
he didn't, like, he just kind of like looked at them and didn't really do anything.
Okay.
He just kept walking. Yeah, so that I feel like it's like a hit or miss sometimes.
Mhm.
Sometimes he will react, but
Yeah.
sometimes he won't. But other than that, like dogs passing or anything, like
Doesn't
he's
care.
fine, yeah.
That's good.
He sometimes
And
he,
it's
like,
good that
looks
it's
at
getting
them,
warm
so-
out because now he's seeing more dogs, so it's like quicker now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be even more quicker, so that's good.
Yeah.
Reactivity. What else? Anything else?
I think that's it.
Cool. When was the last time you had a moment of like reacting to a dog? Was there one this week?
No, I didn't. He didn't react this
Okay.
week.
Cool.
And yeah, that was when like even when other dogs like barked at him, like he was fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. Trying to think anything else. How's his eye? Looks like it's healing up.
Yeah.
Cool. And then you readjusted the e-collar. Do you want me to check it again, or?
Yeah, I moved it up a notch.
I think it should be good. Up a notch was it felt like it was good enough too.
Okay.
And then so we're gonna go ahead and trying to think if you want the prong. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
But we're gonna go ahead and do a few more recalls just to like get a little review or whatever. Let's see. Oh yeah, how did you practice recall? You just did it by yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually in the suburbs, so like in the backyard, kind of
Oh,
in
the
the park
suburbs?
too. Just like wherever.
Yeah. Let's see here. Okay. Let's go ahead. Oh, watch out for this poop right there, I think. Cool. So we'll go ahead and I will stand here and then you can go over there. So I'll just walk with you. Or I can just hold him here, actually. Yeah. Now you want to come to me. Yeah, boy. Shadow. So whenever you're ready.
Shadow, come.
Good boy. And then, let's see here. Break. Good boy. Shadow. Shadow. Yeah, good boy. Yes, good boy.
Shadow, come.
So here, yep. Tap, tap. No. Move back and then tap. Good. And then hold. Good. So there, he wanted to go lay down, sunbathe, or whatever. When that happens, because he was also going away, you turn to him and then tap and just move backwards instead of grabbing the leash first and then see how he does there. If needed, what you would do is reel in and use this leash to pull him with you.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
Breathe.
Here's your shadow. Let's see here. Shadow, come on. Here's a good boy. Here's a good boy.
Shadow, come.
Good boy. And we'll do two more. Shadow. Yes, come on. Yeah, good boy.
Shadow, come.
Good. And then last one. Yes, good. Good. So now for these next ones, what's going to happen is we'll do the recall same, and then when he comes to you, when you do a recall for Shadow and he comes and sits next to you, let's say if you move, what do you think Shadow should do?
Stay there.
No.
Come with me?
Yes, because he's still recall. Shadow come, nothing has been said. If you move, he should stick because he's still in recall. So we're gonna teach him that. So when you do a recall, let's say Shadow comes, well, he's on your right side. You walk him on the left side, right? Let's say Shadow comes on your left side. What we're gonna do is kind of like move, and if he doesn't follow, we'll give a tap, and he should glue to us, and we'll keep doing it. If he doesn't follow, we'll do a tap. What?
I should move after he sits down, or?
Yes. So it's Shadow come, 3-4 steps back, he's coming, good boy. He sits, good, and then we'll do like one step. You should come, or back over here, he should keep coming to you.
Okay.
What we don't want to do right away is walking forward. If we walk forward, Shadow's going to think we're in heel, and we don't want to do that yet. Or you can do that, but just command it and everything. So to make it more, not reliable, but just more specific on gluing to us, we're going to like take steps to the right, backwards, and like left. We're not going to go forward.
Okay.
Any questions? Good. And then if you move and he doesn't come to you, give a tap. He should, and then he should come and glue to you. And then if he doesn't sit, give a tap there. And I'll tell you where to move and everything,
Okay.
just so I can see if he's getting the hang of it. Here, give a tap. Tap. Good. Break. Yes, a good boy, Shadow. Yes, a good boy. So whenever you're ready.
Shadow, come.
Good. So that's perfect right here. So what you're going to do is take a step back because he's not paying attention, and then give a tap. Good. Take one step to your right. Good boy. One step backwards. Tap. Good. Another one backwards. Tap. Good. And 2 steps to your left. Good. And then go ahead and, that's good. We'll do one more, or 4 more. Give him a tap here. 1 second. Give a tap. Good. Good. So like when he saw him, this is what we want, like the mouth open and then the ears back. When he saw the dog, because that dog's a little excited, and he can tell from, so that's good. He's just kind of, there, tap. Good. So we want that, just like relaxed, because when he was looking at the dog, you saw he's just like eyes, not ears, no, ears forward, and then he was just like watching the dogs, kind of stalking, you know?
Okay.
So whenever you're ready to break.
I break.
Yes, Shadow. Good. And now you can just do whatever you like. Good. No, if he comes to you, don't tap. So there, that was a good tap right there. Good. 3 more. Let me see here. Whenever you're ready. Okay. Good. Give it a tap. Yep. Good boy. 2 more. So here, take 1 step back. Good, tap. Good. Good. Now if he breaks it again, back and then tap.
Okay.
And then whenever you're ready,
Breathe.
shadow. Whenever you're ready.
Shadow, come.
Good. Good. Good job. Good. And 1 more. Any questions so far?
I guess like how long should I wait before like tapping and he like
For the
following and stuff?
for the recall or for this?
Like
For
for,
the-
like him following me.
So it's I like speed. Like when I take a step back, bam, bam, you know? But if you're fine, because he's moving fine, you know, when you take a step, he comes, you take a step, he comes. But if you want more speed, tap right away, tap sooner.
Okay.
But it's kind of like up to you how, you know, obviously we don't want like a delay, so it's like, then he comes, you know, we want immediate.
Okay.
But yeah, whenever you're ready. I know, mama. Good.
Shadow, come.
Good. 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 So here, go ahead and put him into a heel and then come to me. Keep the long leash in your hand, position yourself, and then cue heel and then walk to me. Good. Good. I'm gonna tease him a little bit. Shadow. So here, tap, and then go to your right. Good. Shadow. 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 Good. Give a tap. Good. Shadow. What's your baby? So here, turn, tap. Good. He came right back. And come back to me again. Shadow. Hey, baby. Good. Shadow. Come here. Good. And then slow to a stop. Good. So he, as soon, because you're not, you know, it's just to switch it up. So like he's not always seeing the leash here, because when you have it in your right hand, he sees no leash and he just sees your free hand, you know? So it's getting him used to that picture. And then he's responding really well to the taps because you didn't need the leash to like guide him to you. You know how in the beginning it was like the leash to help him and then tap, 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 you know? Yeah. So there, it was when he came to me, you just turn and tap and he quickly just 180 to you. That's really good. Any questions so far about that or the recall or anything? Cool. So we're gonna advance it a little more. Let me see. Yeah. So now what we're gonna do is okay, so I'll stay here. We're gonna recall Shadow that way. You'll be over there again. And then when I grab Shadow on break, I'm gonna walk with him as usual. But before he hits the end of the leash, you're gonna do a recall, and I'm gonna be walking with him.
Okay.
So it's more, we're trying to get more realistic, because he's starting to like me a little bit, so I can kind of tease him. And then we might see a few things. We might see him, maybe, I don't think so, but he might get closer to me because he's thinking heel. I don't think that'll happen. I think he'll respond right away just because his attachment to you in general. So I'll walk. Before he hits the end of the leash, cue recall and tap. And then if he's still walking with me, tap, tap. And then he's gonna hit the end of the leash, and then that will help him. But we're just trying to create a motion, a recall in motion, if that makes sense. So if you want, you can put him in the heel and then go back to that spot, and then I'll walk to you and then we'll break him. Good boy. Okay.
Great.
Good.
How long should I do?
So before he hits the end of the leash, because we want the recall to be based on your voice and the tapping, not the leash helping him, you know?
Okay.
Hey, Shadow. So now, tap, tap, move back, tap, good. So you saw that? When you said it, he kind of like, he got closer to me, which is normal, which is what, you know. We'll do a few more. Whenever you're ready.
Free.
Shadow. Good. Come here. Yes, good boy. Yes, good boy. Nice. There we go. Shadow. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Well, walk a little bit to me so we can create slack, and then whenever you're ready. There we go. Three more. So yes, if you're running out of slack, walk a little bit towards me, and then once you see him kind of like look at me and kind of like, oh, Enrique, then call him.
Okay.
Because if you call him when he's looking at you, then it's like, because we want him distracted, you know?
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Cool, so whenever you're ready.
Free.
Shadow. Shadow, come here, baby. Shadow. Yes, good boy. There you go. There we go. Good. And then you can go ahead and practice the giving space or stepping away. Good, yep. Good. Good job. He's got a shiny coat.
Hey, free.
Shadow.
Buddy.
Shadow. Hey, baby. Shadow, come on. There we go. So now I'm gonna see if he'll run with me. I'm gonna go ahead and switch leashes so we have more leash. Because I think, is that 30 feet or is that?
I think it's 30.
Okay, I think this one's like 30 something. I'll be right back. There's the handle for you. And then, okay, just the lunge. Cool. I'll put this by the bag. So let's see if he'll jog with me.
Are you free?
Shadow. Yeah, good boy. Go for it.
Shadow, come. Oh, goodness.
Good. Back, good. He kind of lunged when he did the recall, right?
Yeah. So I don't know if that was like, you felt the leash pull or?
It was most likely he came because of the leash. Because one, I'm running now, so he's in motion. Yeah, that was fine. Because that was the first one, you know?
Yeah.
There you go. Whenever you're ready.
Free.
No, we're fine. We'll be walking through. Come on. Yeah, come on, boy. Good. Good job.
Am I holding the leash right?
Yeah, that works.
Okay. So last time I was holding it, kind of.
So go ahead and. I'm trying to think. Let me see real quick. So it'd be like. So I like to have the. I see what you mean. Like.
Yeah.
What you can do is. Kind of like do this. And then it shouldn't, because it's gonna hit your arm, and then you have your fingers right here.
Okay.
So it's kind of like the. Here you go. 1 second. It's kind of like what we did in the first time, like this.
Yeah.
But now you're gonna take this, put your finger through that, and then you have it like that. Let's go ahead and give that a try. Good. Yeah. We'll see how that works. Okay, whenever you're in. Shadow, come on. Does he like sticks?
Yes, it
Is this cool? Okay. Shadow. Come on, Shadow. Good, whenever you're ready. Shadow. Yes, Shadow. Tap, move back, tap, tap, tap. Good. What's the number?
50.
Let's try 57, because now there's like a, how do I say, a distraction, more of a distraction because he likes sticks.
Yeah.
But we were at 50, right? Let's keep it at 50 actually, because I don't want to kill the drive for the stick.
Okay.
So we'll just do this one more so I don't affect that.
Okay.
Let's see, whenever you're ready.
Free.
Watch this, Dad. Watch it. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Good. Now he's looking back. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and toss a stick next to him. He's probably gonna break. If that happens, just start tapping and moving back. Tap, 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 tap. Okay. See what he does. Tap, move back. Tap. Good. We'll do it one more time. What's the number?
51.
I'm gonna throw it farther so that he doesn't get it and he'll hit the leash. Let's try 57 then. Shadow. Or he just won't try. Okay. That was good. Shadow. Give him a tap. 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 Bump at 5. Tap. 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 Bump at 5. Tap.
We're doing some starting right now. Thank you.
Unless you wanted to work recall with Playboy, or because you already did it, right?
Huh?
You already did the when he's playing with the dog recall. Okay, cool. So give a tap. All right, wait, he's lost it. Good. So yeah, just it'd be if he's staring at something, obviously he's more focused because it's his play buddy, right?
Yeah.
So if it's just a regular dog, and like, because you obviously want him to get over that of like, if you see like a dog that's over the top, give space and then address it with him first. Sometimes dogs think that when they're looking at something and they get tapped, it means go. So that's why you kind of saw the, like just the lunge, but I already knew he was gonna do that, so I was stepping on the leash. So you might see that first. All it means is he still doesn't understand like that it means no instead of go. So you would just keep bumping at 5. So now we know, what number did we land on? 65. So now we know 65 did not work. So then the next time you can try, if you see something, just bump to 70 right away, give space, and then address it as needed. But does that make sense?
Yeah.
What else? We'll do, how many joggings did we do? We'll do 2 more jogs. What little?
Back down.
Yes. And then whenever you're ready. Shadow, come on. Shadow. Yes, good boy. Shadow. Yeah. Shadow. Yes, go for it. Good. Now face him. Take a step back. Good job. Good. We'll do one more. Cool. Shadow. Shadow. Yeah. Come on. Yes. Good job. Go ahead and do the step back. There we go, tap. Good. Keep doing it, he seems distracted. There we go. Good. Did he sit on his own or did he sit because he tapped?
I tapped and he tapped, but I don't know if that was good.
So here, take a step back. Good. What's the number? Let's try 75, or no, 70. Go for it again. There we go. Good. And then whenever you're ready, pop him into a heel. Put the excess behind you. Yep. And then let go of your left hand. Good. Shadow. Good job. Shadow. Shadow. And then slow to a stop. Good boy. What else? So that's how we advance recall. And we can come back to the camera. So go ahead and heel. Good. And slow to a stop. Good boy. So that's just like the part 2 of recall, is like getting him glued to you instead of like what you're experiencing, like should he be sitting? But now that, I hope that clarifies, like now he needs to be sitting because he needs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Any questions?
So I guess like when I'm doing recall, I'm not really like reeling in the leash. So if he isn't glued to me, I should be using, like, do I need to be reeling in the leash so that I can
Like pull him?
Like pull him, or is it more just the tap?
So when we were teaching it, if he was struggling, then we would do the leash.
Okay.
But I just wanted to see how you would do just the tap, because I didn't want to give you more work or anything. But yes, so if you start practicing, he's like not coming to you, he's starting to like, maybe he wants to like run away or something like that, then he would hit the end of the leash and then you'd correct it like that. But if he's here, so we're reeling in anyways, because if we don't reel in and he comes, then we have the risk of him just for some reason bolting away, and then he has all that leash, you know? So when we reel in as he's coming, we eliminate that possibility of him having 30 feet more to go behind us.
Okay.
And that will also help if he's not coming to you and he's just not understanding the concept, then we would have used leash pressure, tap, and bring him back up. He's not coming, leash pressure, tap, bring him closer to you.
Okay.
But he was doing fine without it. He kind of knew the drill. But obviously if you practice in a new environment and you notice he's kind of, he just needs like a few more, like a recap, then that's how you would go about it. If it makes it easier, you don't have to reel it in and hold all that leash. You can just either grab his short leash. If you don't have the short leash on, you can just drop that and then grab like a decent amount of length of the orange leash or your long leash.
Okay.
And you just do the finger lock here and just go about it that way.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Anything else? You said,
Like that would still like apply if he's like playing with someone, right? And then
so yeah, so like you're talking about the leash pressure or the backing up?
just like the backing up and stuff.
That's just like whenever you like to do it.
Okay.
And whenever you practice this, nothing like you have to do this every time you recall your dog. It's just as long as they come, they sit, and they break when you break them, that's all that matters. It's just like, if you want to practice that glueness and that very like attachment, that's how you would do it. If you're just practicing recall, you don't have, like I said, you don't have to do it every time.
Okay.
What else? Anything else?
Yeah, so like what happens if he like comes and then he sits
Mm-hmm.
and then he breaks because he wants to like go back to play with the other dog? Do I just like tap and not say anything?
Correct.
Until he comes back?
Yeah, so like, so for our whole program, we only say the words once.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I can't think of any command that we'd say it twice. So here, give a tap, tap, tap. What's our number?
70.
Go to 75. Tap, tap, tap. Go ahead and grab the short leash and give him a little pressure up and then tap. There we go. So now, so that was just adding the more structure to it. We know he's tired and everything, but it'll be on our terms when we want him to down. So if you want to say break, so he knows he can lay down, that's fine. Unless he's gonna shoot off, hopefully not. But there we go. So for the playing, if you recall him and he comes, good boy, you pet him. Sometimes when you pet a dog, they think they're released. So let's say you pet him and he goes back, don't repeat it, immediately just start tapping and moving back. If you can tell that it's not working, like the tap's not, you know, if he's not reacting to it, then just bump it up.
Okay.
But I would only like, if you happen to be like a high number, you might see him not want to play. So the next time you go to your friend, or you know, if you the play date, probably don't do a recall until the end. You know, just so he still has that drive to play with his friends and everything, and then he's not associating the tap with them. You know.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
So we don't say recall again. Just the tapping and backing away and reeling in if we need to. What else? So if he lays down, you can either just correct it by just giving a tap and pulling up to help him, or like what you did, you just backed up and tapped and corrected that way. Either works. What else? And then if he does, like, you start to see him not want to play with his friends, it's fine. Just give him some time and he'll realize, okay, I just need to come when I'm called. I can still play,
Yeah.
you know?
Okay.
Anything else? How was he when you started at the suburbs? Like, did you notice that he kind of had to like get a little recap, or was he just off the bat pretty good?
He was pretty good in my backyard. Probably because there's like less distractions.
I see.
And we like usually do training in the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like he didn't really need like too much recap.
Cool.
And he just kind of understood.
Cool. What else? And then, but yeah, that's pretty much it for recall. What would you like to work on next class? Because we have the stay command. Or we didn't do stay. No, yeah, we have stay, place, down, sit. I think stay would be a good command for you to practice, just so you can add something onto your long leash exercises.
Okay.
I recommend stay, but if you want something, if you want to focus on something more, we can do that obviously for you. You don't have to answer me now, but you can shoot me an email what you want to work on, just so if you do want to work on place, I would need to like get the placemat ready and everything.
Okay.
And then also, did you just want to work here, or did you want to go back to over there? Because I feel like,
we need to work with the long leash. Or?
so the long leash is only for the recall, but as we go further along in the program, we're going to want to use the long leash a lot, because your goal is off leash, you know.
Right.
So I think this would be a better location to work at, because over there, the risk is like the street,
Right.
and you have all that leash. So here, he's good. Give it a tap. Tap. Bump it. Tap. Okay. Okay, he's good. So then the stalking, so there. So he's like looking, but like his ears are back, so he's more passive. But when the kids started barking, or I don't know, I heard someone barking.
Yeah, I think it was a kid.
Yeah, so he was more like, what was that? But it's like, we want to teach him, like, I know you hear all these noises and everything, so, but don't worry about it. So that's what the tap would say.
Okay.
What was I saying? Oh, command. Oh yeah, so here,
Yeah.
we will want to practice here. Give it a tap. Good. We will want to practice here because as we get further along in the program, we want to use the long leash. So I think this would be a better location. If for some reason you want to go back there, it's fine with me. But what else? I'm trying to think. Anything else, or?
I just like had a question on like the sit command and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, do you usually like if you tell him to sit, like is he supposed to like stay sitting until you release him? Or?
Oh yeah. So sit down. Technically, all the commands have it implied stay. Place is a little bit like stay in the area, but down, sit, heels technically stay with me. So there's an implied stay.
Yeah.
Recall is implied stay with you. But a stay there, stationary commands, which just means stay over there, is sit, down, and place. So sit, once we say sit, it's just sit. We don't need to say stay.
Okay.
And if they lay down, we don't repeat anything, we just correct. Same thing with down, it's just down and then like end of story, unless given another command. But yeah, we won't say, because the stay command is for when he's in heel and then you come to a stop. So when he comes to a stop, you can't say sit because he's already sitting. And I guess you can say down if you've learned it, but when we'll go over stay before we go over sit and down, just so we make it easier.
Okay.
So if he's already in, like right now, if he was already in that position and you wanted him to stay there, it'd be stay, not down.
Okay.
That's how we use it. When they're in the position, like stay there.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, okay.
Anything else?
I don't think so. I mean, I think he like knows the command, but he usually breaks it. I feel
Yeah.
like, 'cause
Yeah, the e-collar.
Anyway.
Yeah, the e-collar would help a lot with that.
Okay.
What else? And then does he know down, or like does he kind of have an idea?
Yeah.
Okay. In case you taught him down probably with food, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In case, give it a tap. Tap. Okay. He just like, I think he just popped out of nowhere, this guy, and he was just like, he did this. I was like, okay. But go ahead and when we go over down, I'll have you bring food in case, because sometimes dogs, it's like, the down is in the sit and maybe go to your bed. Even if he knows it through food and everything, it's different when we do it through pressure work. Kind of like the heel and everything, it's pressure. Because it's more like you have to do this instead of the food. You can't correct it really. I mean, if you had the prong collar, you could correct it that way if you were doing it. But this is more, it's better, to correct it. And then it makes him think like, okay, this down means something because of the way they made me lay down, or the sit, this means something because like the way they were teaching me and everything. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We'll worry about that later. I think stay would be the next command before we do down sit, unless you wanted to do place command. So it's either stay or place. But I think you said he already has the concept of place, so we can push that further along.
Okay. Yeah.
So then that leaves us stay. I'm like, let me know what you want to work on, but it's like
stay.
yeah.
Really?
it's we'll work on stay, yeah.
Yeah. That works. I mean, I think it's the same thing with place. It's like he'll stay there. Sometimes he'll like whine when he's there, and then like sometimes if he's like on there long, I guess he thinks it's too long or something, then he'll like break it.
Yeah.
And like at home, I don't really have his e-collar on.
Okay.
So then usually, like I have to like tell him to go back.
Yeah.
So I guess in those cases, like, do I just need to have his e-collar on all the time, or?
It's only on when you need it. So, let's say you were going to have guests over, and you want him to, one, be well behaved and not jumping, and then maybe you want also him to, maybe like the guest doesn't like dogs, so then you collar him up, cue place, and he has to stay there until given the break command. And then your guest will feel more comfortable because like, oh wow, she has control of her dog, and they'll feel more comfortable. And two, it's just like planning ahead. Yeah. So if you know she's gonna come at 2, you collar him up at like 1:45, and then just have your house ready and shadow ready, and then correct as needed. There's more to it, but we'll talk about that later. What else? That's pretty much it. Do you have any other questions?
Should I bring food for the stay command, or that was just for sitting down?
It's optional. We like to tell our clients, make it as simple as possible, because then you have like the e-collar, leash, and then food, and then it can kind of get too much. But so you don't need it. If you want to use it, it's up to you. If you do want to use food, does he like his kibble a lot? Like, does he food drive, in other words?
Yeah, he really likes.
Okay. In case, because sometimes when we add structure and discipline, they kind of just don't want to eat. So like if for some reason we get a high response because it changed contact, and then like we were at around 60, we got a little yelp.
Yeah.
He might just not want the food. So then that's why we start with like turkey or like lunch meat. So that's like, whoa, I've never had this before. I only get it when we're training. So yeah, I'm going to be more motivated. I'm going to want to eat it. I'm going to, it increases the training overall.
Okay.
But that's up to you. But from what I'm seeing, with all the discipline and everything, he's responding well. Like, there's like no shutdown. So sometimes dogs shut down, and you'll see them like kind of, like if we were doing heel for the first time and you saw Shadow like holding and didn't want to move, that's shutdown, that's resistance. And we worked the dog through that and everything. But there was none of that. He's taking it really well. It's flowing very nice. E-collar training should flow. If it's not flowing, we're either doing something wrong or like something's wrong.
Yeah.
So as we see it flowing and nicely and everything, we're going okay. He's doing good. He's taking it well. Nothing out of the ordinary what I'm seeing. Yeah. Anything else?
I guess I feel like we've been like increasing his number, like kind of from like class to class. Is that just gonna keep going, or is that just because like he's getting used to the e-collar? Or
What do you mean? Oh, are you saying from the first class we keep ending up going higher and higher and higher?
Yeah.
I see. What's his number like when we're not training? Like if you're just doing a walk?
During walks and stuff, I just have it at like 65.
Okay.
65, 67.
Have you noticed it starting to increase now? Just for like basic walking?
Not for basic walking.
It's just like when we're training.
Yeah.
So it's because before he was responding well, and then for some reason it could have been the fur or contact could have moved into a different place. We had to bump it up. But if that happens, we obviously have more, it goes up to 127. So we have more time, or not more time, more numbers to experiment with. But dogs should not be like adapting to it. So like it shouldn't be going higher because he's like getting tougher.
Okay.
If that happens, we'll work through that when it comes.
Okay.
And then let's say like post training it happens, you can just let us know and we'll help you work through that.
Okay.
And speaking of high numbers, with recall, if Shadow is, for example, on break and everything, and Shadow, maybe a firework goes off and it's close by, and he's like, holy shit, and he's like either, what's it called? What's that word? Kill or be killed.
Oh. Okay.
That's what dogs think when they're like in that situation. It's like, I gotta run, I gotta run.
Yeah.
So when they do that, the number you're at is most likely not gonna work because their brain is somewhere else, like somewhere way far else, So to override that, we've had situations where like it's happened and then the dog took off. The lady just turned to 127, hit continuous, tap, tap, tap. The dog literally jumped in the air 180 and came back to the owner. So when you can, practice that scenario. If he's free, moving around, go to 127. On the nick button, don't do continuous. Give 3 taps, and then we need to know, is he gonna shut down or is he gonna run away because it's so sudden? If he does run away or shut down, keep it at 127 and work him through it, just so that he knows in the future, if you're ever in a situation where you do need to 127 him, he knows that's still recall, not run away. Does that make sense? So that's like creating like an emergency safe like exit thing,
Yeah.
in case that were to ever happen. But just do it like once, see how he does and then work him through it, and then don't do it till like later. It won't like mess him up or anything because like I said, he's recovering well. There's no shutdown, there's nothing like that. Any questions about that?
So like try the 127?
Yeah, whenever you like.
Okay.
It'd be 127. Give 3 taps. You don't have to say anything, because we want his immediate response to be to come to you, not run away. Because I don't know what power was, because he's probably never felt it. So he's probably you're gonna either get shut down or running away.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Wait, so don't say anything?
Yeah, because when it comes to it, let's say the firework goes on, you say something, there's a delay. Shall come, and then he's probably not gonna listen. So you just result into the tap and just see how he responds. Let him like meander around. Just do it once before like you're gonna head out or head home, and then just see how he reacts.
Okay.
And then just be mindful of like the public, just in case. Because Jesse's he's told me some stories where he's gotten like stuff from people saying like, what are you doing to that dog? Not the 127, it's just like some dogs, they don't take the e-collar well, so they're very vocal and everything, and that will happen and everything. But any other questions? Okay. So yeah, we'll probably stick here because I like the distractions and everything. It's good for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all.